Hi everybody, welcome to our Chess Skills for Beginners and Intermediates class. This is part 10. As you know, we meet in the Library and Learning Commons on Thursdays at 2:30. Today we're going to be talking about how to improve at chess, important skills and advice. A lot of the stuff I'm going to talk about today, or some of the stuff I'm going to talk about today, are things that we've already talked about, but I want to kind of hone in on a few of them just to make sure that we're kind of on the same page as we're trying to develop our skills. I also, as we were talking today in the club, we talked a little bit about our study plans, and we have another example of what I'm going to try to do, and hopefully persuade the club to do too. If you're new to the club, welcome. If you're not a student at our school, that is fine. Everyone is allowed to, or everyone is welcome to join. So I'm glad you're here, and I hope you stick with us, and hope you improve with us as well. So here we go. How to improve at chess, important skills and advice. So to improve and increase our rating for chess beginners and intermediates, we need to stop blundering in our games. I think I've said over and over at our classes, and also as we're playing, one of the things I'm focusing on is not blundering anymore. That is very difficult to do. Grandmasters do it. We all do it. So, but that is one thing I'm trying to do more and more, is not blunder when I'm playing my games. I'm trying to review and analyze every game that I play. I don't play a lot of blitz games anymore, just because, as I said, those shorter games, a lot of them are just gut moves, and I'm not really thinking about it, and that's where I'm blundering, because I'm not really thinking about deep thinking about what I'm doing. So I am playing longer games, daily games, and I'm trying to analyze all of them. I've been increasing the number of tactical puzzles that I've been solving, so that's another thing that we should be doing. And I said this before, but play longer games as we get the opportunity. That provides a lot of more time for us to do more deeper thinking. So some things we need to do we should be doing this anyway, but if we start doing these things, our rating will climb very quickly. If we stop hanging or giving away our pieces, make sure all of your pieces are defended. We need to look for potential threats like forks, pins, skewers, discovered attacks, discovered checks, trapping, forcing moves, all of those things. Be looking for those things so that your opponent can't do that to you, but you want to be able to do that to your opponent. So we should be looking at it from two different perspectives. Play seriously. I said this to one of our students the other day. He was playing Hunter, and he was recording the game on the DGT board. And I'm sorry for calling out our student, but as I was looking at the game, I said, "Why are you playing the Bong Cloud? You know, we need to make every move count, and wasting an opening, like playing the Bong Cloud, when we should be focusing on opening principles, you're going to get far more out of your game in terms of a learning perspective than if you do silly things like play the Bong Cloud." So yeah, it was kind of funny when he was, "I just wanted to see what it was like," but well, you had a great opportunity. You're playing against Hunter, and the three of us were going to go through the game. So it was silly to start with that when we could have had a serious game and we could have learned a little bit more. So as I said, we need to follow the opening principles, put a pawn in the center, develop your pieces toward the center, control the center. Today in class I said, what is the key part of those three points? And one of our students was sort of clever and said, yeah, the word the. Yeah, that's kind of funny. The is in all three of those, but so is the word center. So we need to look at those three things, like control the center, putting a pawn in the center, and developing towards the center. That's where the action happens. It also allows them, once you have the center in control, you can come up one of the flanks and hopefully get at your opponent's king quicker. Move your knights before your bishops. Don't put knights on the edge of the board, because a knight on the rim is dim. So yeah, don't develop your knights toward the edge. Make sure you're developing towards the center so they can attack towards the center. I keep saying this. This is a Andrew Martin quote. I'm sure it's not just Andrew Martin, but he's the one I always hear in my head. Move each piece once before you move a piece twice. Very, very important. Make a few pawn moves and many piece moves. This is also in my head from Andrew Martin over and over and over again. Make a few pawn moves and many piece moves. Don't bring your queen out too early. Create a strong supportive pawn structure. Castle your king early for safety, and don't move the pawns in front of your castled king unless you need an escape route. Otherwise, try to keep those 3 pawns in front of your king. Connect your rooks so that there's nothing in between them and they can protect each other and have a lot of power on that back rank. Move your knights toward the center of the board. I kind of talked a little bit about that. Look for unprotected pieces of your opponents and attack them. Always protect your own pieces. Don't hang them. Move your rooks and queen to open files. Move your rook to the same file as the enemy king or the enemy queen. Try to stick to the opening principles instead of studying all the main lines to a specific opening. Look, us beginners, it's difficult for us to memorize all of this opening theory for various openings. So try to stick to the principles. But, we're human and we, see everybody doing it on YouTube. So we want to learn openings, what I've seen online and recommended openings for beginners are the London system, the Italian game, or the Slav defense. Stick to the really foolproof openings so that you can have a successful middle game. If you don't know what to do, I do this all the time. If you don't know what to do with your next move, look for your least developed piece and then move it to a better square, one that can be a better square for for a square that you can control. Look for checks, captures, and threats. I hear this over and over and over again from Anna Cramling to Levi Roseman. He's Gotham Chess, or Chess Vibes. That's International Master Nelson Lopez. They're always talking about checks, captures, and threats for yourself and for your opponent. So always look for those 3 things: checks, captures, and threats. Watch the clock. Don't run out of time. So make your opening moves rather quickly, and then spend more time on the middle game, but always try to stay ahead of your opponent with extra time, so that if you need a little time to think, you're always ahead of them in time so that their clock will run out before yours. Also, we need to do, these are the things that I was giving advice to the students today. Try to do these things every day if you can through our chess training. Every day we need to, and I'm not coming up with this. I think I got this from Kostya from the Chess Dojo. I think I heard him say 3 things to make sure you do with every time you're training are playing and analyzing your games, do a lot of tactics, puzzles, and start or continue to read an instructional book or a video course, that sort of thing. Those 3 things need to be a part of your everyday training. I hope I got that right. Kostya is never going to watch this video, but I hope I'm quoting him right. Also do these things every day. Play serious games. Play longer time controls, at least 10 or 15 minutes per side for us beginners. The longer the better. And don't count blitz as part of your training time. Yeah, it's fun to play blitz games. I was just talking to Tucker today, and he was like, yeah, I'm playing this game. I won on time. Or no, I won on a disconnect, but I think I was losing. I'm trying to remember what he was saying. But it sounded like, I talked to him a little bit about how I get frustrated when I play blitz because I'm not really thinking. I'm just playing these gut moves, and I can lose 100 points in rating very quickly if I'm not careful. So, these blitz games, just be careful with them. Don't be so serious about them. Play longer time-controlled games so that you can have a good game, one that you can evaluate afterwards and learn from. As I keep telling the students, for us beginners, we could at least try for 15 minutes without a chess engine and then review the game again with a chess engine. And we should be evaluating both our games and both our Grandmaster games. Today, Tom's like, if you're evaluating so many games every day, you're going to run out of games. Well, I'm not going to run out of games because I've been playing since 2008 on chess.com. I have over 4,000 games. And what I told him was, what I want to do is way back in 2009, 2010, I was playing at a 1400 level. I got into the 1500s back then, and I want to see what I was doing then as compared to now. Why is my rating so low? And I know, I time out 30% of the time. I'm trying not to do that anymore. I think I'm focused now. I'm focusing on an opening. I played a lot of London. I've played some Italian game. I've been doing the Queen's Gambit, so I'm trying to do these openings, and really I shouldn't be doing that. What I should be doing is sticking to the opening principles. I hear grandmasters say that all the time. Andrew Martin is one who's always saying that, stick to the opening principles. Once you're, at the dojo they say that, Jesse Cry is always saying that, once you get higher in your ranking and you can start to memorize these lines, these variations in the opening, then we should be studying these openings. But that's not until we're like 1700. Well, I got a long way to go before I'm 1700. So let's stick to the opening principles. Other things I'm telling the students that we need to do is we need to do tactics every single day. Do some speed tactics, but also we need to be doing some deep thinking tactics, like through survival. I have a gold membership on chess.com, so I only get like 75 tactics a day, which really isn't enough. So I'm looking at chesscup.org or maybe Lee Chess in order to do more of my tactics puzzles. Hopefully sometime, as either I reward myself with a membership, or maybe my mom will buy me one for Christmas. Mom's never going to watch this video, but love you, Mom. But yeah, that's a great thing. I don't know that we really need, as beginners, need the diamond membership. But even that middle one, the platinum membership, that would give us unlimited puzzles, unlimited games that we can analyze and write notes on. For me, I can start tournaments even as low as a gold membership for our club, those types of things. And one thing that's so, I think, underrated on chess.com, and it should be more highly rated, are their lessons and their video courses. I was gifted a membership for a month from them because I attended something, and I put in the chat to the moderator, God, I'd love to enter your contest for a free membership. And I didn't get the free membership, but he gave me 1 month free to try it out, and God, it was fantastic. The resources, the platinum membership and the diamond membership, are amazing. So I highly recommend that, even for us beginners, to get a membership like that. I can't right now because, as I said, it's a little expensive for me and my family, but at some time either I hope I can buy one, or Mom hopefully can buy me one. Boy, I sound pathetic. Anyway, study from courses and from books. That's something we should be doing every day also. We need to create a daily training plan and stick to it. I talked a little bit about this at the last presentation, and I gave an example of that. This is what Hunter was saying at the class today, is, and I'm going to try to do some of this too, where every day I solve at least 50 to 100 puzzles, or even more if possible. I need to do more puzzles. He's saying that in his early chess development, as you know, Hunter is almost a 2000 level player. He's trying to get titled. He does play with the United States Chess Federation, actually plays with the Grand Rapids Chess Center, but he's trying to get titled, and so he's suggesting to us that we should look at doing more puzzles to help get our rating up rather quickly. Obviously, he knows a lot more about chess than we do, but especially with openings and middle game theory and that sort of thing. So we can learn from him. But anyway, for us beginners, we need to think about studying puzzles. And then especially the puzzles that we get wrong, we need to go back and figure out why we got them wrong. And I've got 3 sources on the screen there: chess.com, chesscup.org, where you can get free unlimited puzzles. ChessCup, as I've mentioned before, they have about 500,000 puzzles, all for free. And LeeChess.com, I don't know how many puzzles they have, but same type of thing. It's a free site, but they do ask for donations if you're able to give donations, and that's how they survive, is on the goodness and the goodwill of people who donate towards Lee Chess. Hunter also said we should do these sorts of things every day too. Look for critical positions in two of your games, and do some calculation practice. Hunter and I looked at one this week of one of the positions that I was in, and he said that we were looking, well, if I move here, what's black's best move? They move here. And if I move there, I've got a forcing move. They have to move here. And if I do this, they have a forcing move. He said that we calculated all the arrows. And we went with 18 moves. So that's really 9 moves that I made and 9 moves that black moved. But I had never done that before to that extent. Yes, I do kind of, as I'm evaluating these, I'll move pieces around in the PGN file and I'll save them. But I've never done it like that where I was using arrows. And I told him, I said, Hunter, I'm never going to remember all that. He's like, yeah, you will. And he cleared them. And he's like, what was your first move? And he's like, oh yeah, I moved my knight over here. And what did black do? They took my knight. Then what did you do? I did that. And I remembered almost the whole thing. I was shocked that I remembered it all. So if as Jesse Cry would say, if us boomers can do it, the younger students, you can do it too. So so try to do that. Try to find a critical place in your games and see if you can figure out some calculation to maybe turn the game around to see that, hey, I could have won that had I done this instead. So find a critical movement. One way to do that is One way to do that is to look at the evaluation bar on chess.com. That's the bar on the side that is either like, if I'm playing black, all of a sudden a huge white line will show that I'm really losing now. So find a place in the evaluation bar that makes a sudden jump, so you can kind of start there and try to calculate. Obviously, my calculation's not going to be as deep as or as good as Hunter's, and our beginning students may not be as good as mine, and it doesn't matter. We are all at different places in our development, and we can all help each other to get better. So make sure you turn that engine off. You don't want to look at the best moves. You want to have the human side of it and have your brain think of what the best moves are. Try to look many moves ahead. Make your best move, as I said, and then see if you can figure out what black's best move would be after that. Hunter also said we should do this every day. Try to analyze 3 or 4 games. Obviously, free accounts, you can't really do that unless you're using Lead Chess. I'm talking about a free account on chess.com, because you can't save your analysis with a free account. But with my old gold, as I said before, I can analyze as many games as I want. The new gold, I think you can only analyze 1 game at a time, or one game a day. Don't quote me on that, but I think that's how it works. But as I've said in the previous video, there's other tools you can use to import games, to write your analysis, your critique, and then save it. Hunter said this to me yesterday. He's like, Brian, stop playing Blitz. Don't play Blitz ever. He means well with that, and I really need to follow that, because he's right. I do not really learn much of anything when I'm playing a Blitz game, because it's all on my gut moves, and a lot of times my gut moves are blunders. So stop playing Blitz, guys. We need to play longer games. Rapid games will be okay. Obviously, we want to play more than 10 minutes per side, but if you're going to do something, make sure you play at least 1 or 2 rapid games every day if you can, with 10 minutes per side. And of course, you want to analyze those games. Hunter keeps talking about puzzles. So he is saying, the stuff that we just talked about, we would do for 1 week. And then on the next week, we would just do puzzles for at least 1 hour a day. Now that's really tough. And like I said, my chess membership, chess.com membership, there's no way I would last an hour with my chess.com membership, because I don't have unlimited puzzles. So I would have to go to chesscup.org or leechess.com. But today we played probably a half an hour with 2 different bouts of survival, and we got into the 2000s on survival. That was really fun. There were a bunch of us there, and Hunter led us through, what would we do here? And this was like a 1700 level a 17 level puzzle. And we kept solving them. And we stopped because he had to go to class. And I want to say it was like, we stopped at like 2200, and we had only failed 1 puzzle. So we still had 2 puzzles that we could have failed. So we could have probably gone on a few more puzzles. We were trying to get to 40 puzzles, but we just ran out of time. So puzzles, 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 do lots of puzzles. So that's every other week. So this was, as I said, a study plan that I came up with a while ago. This one was sort of based on some advice I got from Kostya. I wish I knew them. I wish I could say, yeah, I talk to him all the time. No, I don't know them. I'm not in the dojo. That would be something though if I could say, yeah, I know Jesse Cry. He and I talk. God, would that be amazing? But no, I don't know these guys. I wish I did. Anyway, this is an example of a study plan that I have been trying to do daily for my Monday through Fridays. And then Saturdays and Sundays, as I said, were my fun days, but still geared towards chess. And what I'll do is I'll be working in the garage and I'll have my laptop on and I'll have, maybe there's a chess tournament on chess.com and they've got Yasser Seirawan or somebody, commentating the game. Is that the right word? Yeah, I love watching that stuff. Or maybe I'll watch a whole bunch of Levy Roseman. He's got them chess, or maybe or Ginger GM, or even Anna Kramling, or Chess Vibes, Nelson Lopez. Those are my favorite people. Also Daniel King, and there's so many of them. Anyway, so I watch a lot of the YouTube stuff on weekends, but think about it. And then this was Hunter's daily study plan that he just said, hey, if the club could do this, we'd be so much better off. Our ratings would increase so drastically. So every day, again, 50 to 100 puzzles. Do this calculation practice as I talked about before. Play one or two rapid games and then review and analyze them. That's the key. We have to analyze and review every game we play. And then on top of that, analyze 3 or 4 games. This is what I was referring to before when Tom said, Brian, there's no way I can analyze 3 or 4 games every day. I'd run out. And when I said, well, I've got over 4,000 games and I'd like to go back to 2009 when I was a much higher rated player at chess.com, what was I doing different back then? And that's when I said, back then I didn't really have an opening. I was just following the principles. And so I think my middle games went better because I was really focusing on good pieces or good squares for my pieces instead of, well, do I have the pyramid just right in the London? Or, gee, I'm trying the Italian game. How do I do the fried liver? I'm always trying to do these lines, and I shouldn't be doing that. What I need to be doing is focusing on the principles. And that's what I was doing back then. And that might be why my rating was higher. And then again, as I said, Hunter's study plan was every other week. Just do puzzles for an hour a day. So I'm going to try that. So good advice, Hunter. All right, that's all I've got. Again, we're the GRCC Chess Club. If you made it this far, thanks for watching. If you liked the video, give it a thumbs up. If you don't like the video, you probably turned it off a while ago, and that's okay. I'm learning, and so are the students, and we're doing this journey together. So if you want to join us, as you know, we're the Grand Rapids Chess Club. There's also a Grand Rapids Chess Center. That's the city club here in Grand Rapids, Michigan. Ours is the college club that I'm the advisor for. And if you want to join us, send me a message and I'll be happy to add you to the club. You don't have to be a student to be in our club. And if you want to be in our cohort, we do have a number of students who are participating. We keep track of our ratings. We do specific assignments together. We read specific books. We're watching specific videos. We're trying to develop a common core of knowledge so that as we progress through our chess development, we're all progressing with the same language and the same skills. So think about joining us. Again, thanks for watching the video so far, and I hope you have a great day. Thanks. Bye-bye. Take care.